Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Okay, real talk. You ever have one of those mornings where everything just feels off? Like you spill your coffee, stub your toe, forget to reply to an email, and boom, suddenly your whole day feels like a mess? Yeah, been there. Today I want to talk to you about how I stopped letting small mistakes ruin my entire day, and more importantly, how you can too. Because let's be honest, most of the time, it's not the actual problem that ruins the day, it's how we think about it. So let's break it down, grab a tea, get comfy, let's talk. Let me take you back to a random Tuesday morning. Nothing tragic, just a mess of little annoyances. I woke up late. Maybe the alarm didn't go off, or maybe I snoozed it without realizing. Either way, I was already behind. I rushed to get dressed, burned my toast, forgot my gym shoes, and just to top it off, spilled coffee all over my white shirt. Classic. And in that moment, I said it. Well, I guess today's just gonna suck. And honestly, that sentence set the tone for everything. From then on, I was just waiting for things to go wrong, and they did. Every little hiccup felt like confirmation. Yep, another terrible Tuesday. Later, I realized I was holding onto that coffee spill like a permission slip to be annoyed. Like that one moment gave me a reason to stay in a bad mood all day. Ever done that? One tiny thing happens and it colors everything after? Like letting a single cloud convince you the whole sky's gray. So I started asking myself, why? Why do I let one small mistake spiral into a full-blown emotional meltdown? Why does a burned piece of toast or a spilled coffee feel like a sign that the entire day is doomed? And after sitting with that question for a bit, I landed on something kind of uncomfortable. It's because somewhere deep down, I believe this quiet little lie. If one thing goes wrong, everything else probably will too. I know, it sounds ridiculous when you say it out loud. Like, obviously life doesn't work that way. But that belief is sneaky. It doesn't show up as a bold headline. It hides behind subtle throwaway thoughts like, ugh, of course this would happen to me. This day is already ruined. I should have just stayed in bed. Those little thoughts, they're not just frustration, they're symptoms of a belief system. One that says, bad things come in bunches, I'm unlucky, mistakes are contagious. One slip up means the whole day is a waste, and unless we actually notice that belief and question it, we keep living like it's true. We keep reacting like every minor inconvenience is a sign of something bigger falling apart. But here's the truth that I'm learning to sit with. Life isn't all good or all bad. It's always both. It's a constant swirl of small wins and little annoyances, of joy and discomfort living side by side. A burnt toast in the morning doesn't predict a bad afternoon. A spilled coffee doesn't mean your meeting will flop. Just like seeing a rainbow doesn't mean the rest of your day will be magical. Each moment is just a moment. Nothing more unless we give it more power than it deserves. Here's where it gets practical. These days when something small goes wrong, and let's be honest, it still does all the time, I try to catch it right there in the moment before it spirals. I've learned to talk to myself a little differently. Sometimes I literally pause and say, out loud if I have to, this moment isn't the whole day, it's just a moment. It sounds simple, right? But saying it, hearing it, helps snap me out of that default all or nothing mindset. Like I'm reminding my brain that a rough 5 minutes doesn't automatically mean the next 10 hours are doomed. That little reframe, it changes everything. It gives me room to reset instead of ride the negativity train until bedtime. Another trick I use, I ask myself, will I care about this in a week? Because let's be real, most of the stuff that feels like a huge deal in the moment, it doesn't even register by next Tuesday. The toast, the email typo, the awkward interaction. These things usually vanish from memory way faster than we expect. So if future me won't care, then present me doesn't need to hand over the whole mood of the day either. But here's the one that helps me the most. What would I say to a friend if this happened to them? If someone I cared about spilled their coffee or missed their train or totally blanked during a presentation, I wouldn't look them dead in the eye and say, "Well, guess your day is a trash fire now." No way. I'd probably laugh a little with them, say something like, "Man, that's annoying, but hey, shake it off. You've got time to turn it around." I'd remind them it happens to everyone, that they're still doing great, that it's just a bump, not the whole road. So why don't I talk to myself like that? Why is it so easy to offer grace to others, but so hard to extend it inward? We beat ourselves up over things we'd never judge someone else for. That's where I'm still learning. To treat myself like I'd treat a friend. With some patience, some humor, a little perspective, maybe even a soft smile and a, "Hey, you're okay. This isn't the end of the world." Because if I wouldn't drag a friend down for a bad 5 minutes, then I don't need to do that to myself either. Here's something that honestly changed my life. The idea of a 5-minute reset. It sounds small, almost too simple, but it's a game changer. When something goes wrong, when I feel that frustration rising, when my brain wants to go into full meltdown mode, I don't just push through it like I used to. I pause. I give myself 5 minutes. Just 5. No guilt, no judgment. Sometimes I breathe, like actually breathe. Slow, intentional, deep inhales. Other times I step outside for a second, feel the air on my face, let my shoulders drop. I might make a fresh cup of coffee or just sit in silence for a bit. Whatever brings me back to the present, back to me. And during those 5 minutes, I remind myself, you get to reset right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. You don't need a perfect morning to have a good afternoon. You don't need to wait until Monday to start fresh. Sometimes the reset is just one small choice away. One breath. One decision not to spiral. It's honestly kind of wild how powerful that is. Imagine life like a video game. You don't have to start over every time you mess up. You just go back to your last checkpoint. You fall in a pit, hit an obstacle, run into something unexpected. You respawn, you regroup, and then you try again. So why don't we do that with our days? Why do we act like one mistake means we have to suffer through the rest of the day with that same energy? Why not just hit pause, take a 5-minute breather, and come back with a clearer mind? The reset doesn't erase what happened, but it keeps it from running the show. It's not about pretending everything's fine. It's about giving yourself a moment to decide what comes next, instead of letting one bad moment make that decision for you. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. What if my whole life feels like a bunch of small mistakes? I hear you. I've been in seasons like that too, where nothing huge is going wrong, but everything feels slightly off, like you're never quite caught up, never quite doing things right. But here's something I learned. Small mistakes aren't signs that you're failing, they're proof that you're living. Because trying means sometimes messing up. Rushing means you're out there moving. Forgetting something means your brain is full of life. You're human. I started giving myself more credit for showing up, even imperfectly. And guess what? My confidence went up. My days got easier. I still messed up, but I stopped letting the mess define me. So here's my challenge to you. This week, notice one small thing that goes wrong. Just one. Maybe you're late. Maybe you forget something. Maybe your coffee order is wrong. When it happens, pause. Take a breath. Ask, is this the whole day or just one moment? What would I say to a friend right now? Can I give myself 5 minutes to reset? And then move forward. Don't drag the mistake with you. Don't give it more weight than it deserves. Try it, seriously. It sounds small, but it's huge. If this spoke to you, if you've ever ruined a day over something tiny, I hope this video gave you a new way to look at things. You don't need a perfect morning to have a good day. You just need one decision to stop carrying small mistakes like they're heavy. If you like this, let me know in the comments. Tell me about a small moment you turned around, or one you want to handle differently next time. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend who's way too hard on themselves. Let's all give each other a little more grace. You've got this. One moment at a time. See you in the next one.